The Maine Legislature is wrapping up its work for this year's session, although for some members the work never really stops. That's especially true for the lawmakers who oversee the state budget. And no one has more experience doing that work than Representative Sawin Millett. 207's Don Kerrigan shares Millett's remarkable story of public service and his commitment to making Maine better.
The chair recognizes the representative from Waterford, Representative Millet.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Around the Maine State House, everybody recognizes the representative from Waterford. Sawin Millet is the oldest and longest-serving legislator in the building.
I'm in my 9th term, which means that this is the 17th year of serving in the Maine House of Representatives.
Those terms of elected service stretch back over 50 years, but only tell part of the story. Because Sawin Millet has also served as a cabinet member for 4 governors, a top staff member for another. It's a level of experience and knowledge unmatched in the Maine Legislature.
At some level, you must like it.
Yeah, I do. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't.
Millet was a teacher, junior high principal, and assistant superintendent when he was first elected to the House in 1968 and served 2 terms.
It was so much fun to sit in a chamber of 151 people, many of whom were older than my grandfather. They weren't so much into this power game where it was Democrats against Republicans forever and ever. We always reached across the aisle.
It's a lesson Representative Millet says has stayed with him.
And here I was, a young guy between 2 guys in their 70s, and I'm telling you, I learned more in my first session than I did in my master's program at the university.
But being in the legislature did not pay much.
And I borrowed money just to come down here. So it wasn't really, it was a labor of love.
So he went back to the school job, then became director of the Maine School Management Association. And then independent Governor Jim Longley hired Millet to be his education commissioner. That began a series of top jobs in education, finance, and mental health with Governors Brennan, McKernan, King, and LePage. But eventually the legislature lured him back, where he quickly became the recognized expert on the state budget.
Just so I'm clear, the purpose of carrying it forward would be to amend it.
On the Appropriations Committee in room 228 of the State House, Millet has been the lead Republican negotiator on multiple state budgets and still is.
You're the guy who knows certainly state budget inside and out far better than anyone else in this building.
Well, I've done all of those jobs, and I've been the governor's legislative director for McKernan, and I sat in that room downstairs at 228, for as much as, almost half of my legislative and executive years has been spent down in 228. So I know the issues, and but I know that there is always a need to pass on the baton, and that time will come.
But not yet. There is still work to be done, and both parties value his advice.
With the work session,
Democratic Appropriations Chair Peggy Rotundo, also a veteran of many budgets, had nothing but praise for her longtime Republican colleague.
I've just really appreciated watching him use his analytical thinking skills, which are amazing. There's very little he doesn't know about state government and finances.
Sawin Millet says he approaches that work as the old-time legislators taught him 50 years ago, in as bipartisan a way as possible.
It's always been trying to help them understand the path to solutions, the path to agreement, rather than to try to, knock heads and outmaneuver people. I always said in my campaigns, I'm going to go to Augusta in search of solutions to problems. I'm not going to go down there and spend time searching for scapegoats.
The budget process in recent years hasn't always been as bipartisan as Millet would like, but he has stayed with it, pushing all of them to be conservative when it comes to new spending, even when revenue forecasts are bright and sunny.
But they said in May they are concerned about the fact that inflation continues to work its way into family income.
Meanwhile, the work goes on. On this day, along with everything else, he greeted the top 2 graduates from Oxford Hills High School. kids like those he once taught. Kids who will help make the future of Maine, and maybe one day help make the decisions in Augusta. Just like Sawin Millet has been doing, helping Maine make the tough choices for half a century.
As if all that work and experience over the years weren't enough, Sawin Millet also used to teach education policy at the University of Southern Maine. He has another year to go in his legislative term and says he hasn't decided whether to run for another.